Hey everybody, this is Nell once again from the Overclocker magazine. Welcome to episode 1 of Talking Smack About Tech. So technically this is the second episode, but the other one was just called episode 0. So anyway, point is I'm here to talk more about 13th Gen Core, or rather the platform rather than the CPUs, and of course on AMD side as well with the B650E, X670, basically the 600 series. So from the leaked slides that I found earlier, which are online, I'm sure many of you have seen them already, it seems as if AMD does indeed have the upper hand when it comes to the platform, or at least platform connectivity where M.2 sockets are concerned. I mean, there was the Asus board whose specs were leaked. I think it's the B650 board, or B650E, I think, and that allows up to 4 Gen 5 M.2 sockets from the PCH, and one, of course, coming from the CPU lanes. Now, if you compare that with, again, the leaked slides from the Intel presentation, they seem to show that it's only Gen 4 connectivity for M.2s that are supported, and of course the obvious Gen 5 graphics cards lanes that come from the CPU, and with the M.2 socket, or rather Gen 5 M.2 that comes from there as well. Don't take this as gospel, because again, this comes from leaked slides and whatnot, and between the leaked slides and my own uncertainty about just what the Z690 was, actually, there could be a lot of misinformation there. So please do not take this as gospel. It is just something that I just saw. But either way, the long and the short of it is that I think AMD does have the platform upper hand. It'll depend on the pricing of motherboards as well. I mean, I've seen that the pricing for, I think, the MSI boards, like the cheapest one is about $299, which is $100 more than what you had for X570. But then again, X570 is much older now, and we are looking at a newer platform, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Given the fact that you're getting so many M.2 sockets now that are Gen 5, and I assume that USB connectivity is also improved. In fact, by the way, talking about USB connectivity, one of the changes that I did see on the leaked slide from the Z790 is that we should be able to get 4 ports of USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2, that's 20 gigabits per second, on Z790 instead of 3 that we had on Z690, or it could be 4 and 5, but between the two, either way, 790 has one more port that you didn't get on Z690. Anyway, back to the M.2 sockets. So looking at a board like the MSI board that I said was retailing for $299, I mean, if you think about it, it actually is better featured. I think its power, or its power distribution, or its VRM, is a 14+1+1 configuration, which I believe is better than what they had for the equivalent board for the X570. So you could say that some of the price differences are justified, but we'll have to see when the actual boards make it out onto market. Besides that, I had a chat with a friend about what actually makes more sense in terms of what to invest in, given that we have 2 platforms that are actually quite competitive. Again, I said to him that Intel is probably going to take the performance lead. Again, this is all speculation, right? We're talking smack about tech, man. So this is all speculation, but I think Intel will have the performance lead. But in terms of the platform connectivity and longevity, you might want to go with AMD. We'll have to see. It will be influenced by price as well. If Intel boards are significantly cheaper, then why would I go with the AMD ones? And on top of it, at least for my interests, I actually care about how DDR5 will overclock on both platforms rather. So AMD is coming out with their first take on DDR5. Intel is doing the second generation DDR5 IMC. And oddly enough, I think they've even improved the DDR4 compatibility for the 13th Gen Core. So I'm interested to see how many vendors will have DDR4 boards and what those DDR4 boards will be capable of in terms of memory overclocking. Again, we'll be looking at Hynix ICs. So I would only be impressed if I can see every single DRAM kit that has the Hynix ICs do 5333 on 4 DIMM boards, where previously it was just the 2 DIMM boards or something like that. I would even like to see even higher frequencies if possible, but we'll deal with that and cross that bridge as and when the time comes. Until then though, I do believe that Intel will have the upper hand when it comes to DDR5 overclocking, and from what I've been told, the controller on 13th gen is actually better, and we should see better or higher frequencies from even existing kits. That's being hopeful. I don't know if that will pan out, but it would be great if it did, because it would mean that the kit that you actually thought was stuck was at 5600 may even be able to do 5800 or whatever higher frequency or extra bin that it was previously not able to do, courtesy of, or rather because of, the 12th gen core IMC. Given that it officially supports DDR5 5600, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case, but if it is the case, it might make my decision a little bit trickier, because traditionally AMD hasn't had as refined a memory controller as Intel, or at least in my experience, I've had more trouble overclocking memory on AMD's platform, particularly where Ryzen is concerned, than I've had on Intel. So I'm still leaning towards the 13th gen core when it comes to just DRAM overclocking and outright performance, but I may be swayed by what the vendors are putting out for their AMD alternatives. Oh yeah, and Nvidia is releasing or announcing on the 20th, I think, the GeForce RTX 4000 series. So that should be really exciting. I was blown away by what they did with the RTX 3000, and I expect to be as impressed, if not even more impressed, by what 4000 is able to do. And I look forward to testing any of those GPUs. But until next time, in fact, I'm running away now because I've got literally 2 minutes until they turn off the power. But until next time, guys, share, like, subscribe, or share, like, subscribe on another channel, whatever. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys on the flip side on the next Talking Smack About Tech episode, which should come out next Friday. Until then, check out the review of the Lancer DDR kit and look forward to the G.Skill Trident Z, I think it's Z5 RGB, the CL36000 kit as well. Until next time, take care guys, and peace out.